Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Crypto Mainly. My name's Lee. Let's get straight into firstly our NFTs. So we've got NFTs on sale on Opensea. There's two available at the moment for around $250, and then after that there's another five at 300. Once those prices are, once those first few NFTs are gone at those prices, I won't be actually listing them again at that price. So grab them quickly, guys. We're also I've launched the same NFTs on Rarible as well. So we was having some problems with OpenSea in terms of being able to accept USDC as currency and things like that. So there's a couple of error messages. If you persevere and you are trying to buy them with USDC, just keep pressing the the actual accept that that currency. So when MetaMask opens and asks you to confirm USDC as a currency, if you're trying to pay by USDC through Polygon, you have to keep pressing the accept button, accept button, accept button. It keeps bringing up error messages, but eventually it does go through. Once it's gone through, then you can buy things and it all's very smooth from there on. But there does seem to be some issues on Polygon Network of OpenSea, hence the reason I've listed them also on Rarible. So thanks very much for your interest in that, guys. Sold the first two of those today, I'm happy to say, which I'm delighted with. So yeah, let's hopefully we'll generate some more interest, and I look forward to doing things with those in the future. Okay, let's jump straight into the charts. Okay, so we were talking about this yesterday on the video yesterday. We were up here in this vicinity. We came down to retest support, and I said we would come up and probably get a rollover. I actually thought we'd come up a little bit higher before we got the rollover, but as you can see, we did get that rollover. Now, just a quick update on this. What I think is going to happen next, guys. I don't think that this move is finished yet. On sort of, bear in mind this is a 15-minute time frame, so it's a very small time frame that I'm looking at here. So let me just highlight that for you. Okay, so we are on a 15-minute time frame at the top there. So just bear that in mind. This is the chart that I'm trading. You can see some of the patterns and things that I was looking at, and the ranges that I've been trading on this chart. So just for your interest's sake. But if we go up into higher time frames, you can see that this may turn into one huge great big bottoming pattern if we get it back up to here. But I actually think that what we're going to see is another push down to the downside, unfortunately. Which, looking at the on a bigger chart that we've been looking at over the last couple of days, I'm still looking for this test of this 38,800. I still think that that's on the cards. I still think we're going to get down there, and I think that this is just a sort of I think what we'll see over the next few days, because it's holiday, obviously holiday season. So we're not going to see very much action. I can't see us getting the volume. We're going to need to push up above here. It's more likely that we push up and we end up with something looking like this, where you get, you've got a shoulder ahead and you get a right shoulder here, and then continuation to the downside. So what that will look like, if I draw this from, so I'm going to do it from there, actually, from the center high, the highest peaks. So it's a little bit on the conservative side, but I think what we're going to see, unfortunately, guys, is that we're going to, it's too early to tell for sure, of course, but I think we're going to see something like this, where we get like an ABC correction. This turns into head and shoulders, and then we get this type of action where this ABC comes into fruition, and we may even get slightly lower than that. So, why do I say that? So, for example, this will be an AB equals CD motion here. So sorry, let me just, so from here, so from this peak to this low, AB equals from whatever the peak ends up to be here, may even be in the peak here at this wick high, in which case if we went from the wick high, AB equals CD does bring us down into, look, the 38,800 mark. Okay, now I actually think that what we're going to see is a deeper correction, and I'll show you why I think that in a second. Okay, so the reason that I think that actually is, if I just get into the drawing tools here, so if I make this a bit clearer for you, if we see we're going to see this head and shoulders pattern. If we are going to see this play out, sorry, let me just grab that up to where that's supposed to be, up there. So yeah, I mean, if we do see this something along these lines, But you've got this head and shoulders pattern here. Where are we? Yeah, so something like that. And if we do see that, yeah, so if we do see this head and shoulders playing out, then we're going to be looking at the high to the neckline, which would be here. And then if we duplicate that, so you'll know I've been blaming my tools over the last few days. This is a new monitor, a new mouse, new keyboard. Everything's new today, so I've got no excuses. I suppose I could use the "it's new" and I'm getting used to it excuse, but I don't think you'll give me much forgiveness for that. So if this does turn into head and shoulders, obviously then we have the peak to the neckline. That's the measure, and then the neckline, is a duplication of this measure to where the measured move is, which takes us all the way down to that sort of level there. So let me just quickly just draw a line there. What's the price on that one? Let's have a look. So the price here is 37,400. Okay, so what would that look like on the larger scale that we've been looking at? 37,400. Let's put that on there. 37,400, and we'll make that a bit clearer on there as well for you. That's clear. Not that clear. Okay, so that would bring us down. That's where the 37,400 mark is on here, which will be down below this main support line. But one thing you'll notice, look, is we have had a collection of wicks down here, and we've had a collection of wicks here. And if you join these wicks up, okay, so this dotted line here, if you can see that, let me just make that a bit clearer for you as well. Interestingly, you'll see that the intersection between the low here, the wick low here, and this, you get an intersection of our measured move from the head and shoulders. So this measured move head and shoulders comes to 37,400 here. Okay, and we've drawn the 37,400 mark on here. Okay, so this dotted line is a 37,400, and if you draw the intersection of these lows, you get like an area here, which of course would suggest that may be the area that we're in. Now, I'm not suggesting that we get sort of candle closes below there, although we still could do, but I wouldn't be surprised to see us with some kind of sort of at least some kind of wick down into this area here, just to frighten the life out of the last people, kind of the last bulls, if you like. As we said previously, with on this this smaller time frame, we were talking about us getting below this support line to frighten everybody else and have this some kind of bear market sensation, sorry, a bear trap sensation going on in this area down the bottom here, below this support line here. It's possible, actually, looking at this now, that we do see some kind of price action, even if it's very quick, come down here, and we get like this would be like the thing is with bull and bear traps is it doesn't like leave anybody on the sidelines. You'll notice that if ever you fall foul of a bull or a bear trap, you'll notice, like for example when we were here in this bull trap at the top, you'll notice that everybody is calling for for the bullish scenario. So we not only were we broken when we were up here, not only had we broken up the 45,000 level, which we tried on several times before. Not only had we actually broken through that, but with this big descending support line that had been going on for a long time, we actually did break above that as well at the top there. As you can see here, we did break that support line as well. And at that point, everybody all across social media and everything were all really, really bullish, and everything was all sort of singing. Fortunately, I think I managed to save some people, and by giving them the warning of what I thought would happen, and we're back down here at the base again. And I do think that this trap that's going to happen is going to be like a severe one in terms of the same up here. We're going to get everybody all being bearish when it's in this price action, and we're going to get something like this sort of sensation where you get sudden wicks. So bear in mind that this is actually the daily time frame here, guys, at the top there. You can see that that's the daily time frame. Okay, and this is only a very small time frame. So I was looking at this on a 15-minute just to show you that what I thought was going to happen. This is on a very small time frame, but if we go up to a more sensible one, like an hourly, you know, you can see yet again the head and shoulders pattern is actually, you know, starting to look even more clear on the bigger, you know, on the bigger time frames. So I mean, it is quite clear on the lower ones. The reason I'm showing you the lower ones is because you can see on this one how I've been trading it. So, you know, we've got like the rising wedge sensation here, which broke down, and then you got to the 61.8, and then you got this huge explosive move. We had a similar thing here where we broke down. We came down actually to the 61.8 retracement from this, you know, from this impulse move, and you know, actually from this impulse move from the bottom to the top there. So we came back down to the 61.8, and off we went to the races again. But as you can see, it had a big fierce attack up here. So this wick here, I'm just going to get rid of my head and shoulders pattern. You can see from that wick at the top there, we had a big fierce attempt at breaking through there. But if we look at this cleaner chart that we were looking at yesterday, the 4-hour chart, same Bitcoin chart, 4 hours, we were talking about this, you know, this bearish divergence which was forming. You can see the wick is very clear on there. It's basically trying to break through this descending resistance line on the 4-hour time frame. And as you can see, if I just get rid of my scribbles, I mean, we did say that scribble there was when I was saying that perhaps if we do, when we were talking about this, when I started this chart and was scribbling, we were up here, and I said if we start to see things rolling over, then we'll see the RSI roll over rather. And if we do see the RSI, you know, come back down and break this low of this valley, that will be the bearish divergence confirmed, and then we will get an accelerated downside move from that. And you know, and sure enough, even on this clearer chart now, you know, if we did the same again, where we did like a head and shoulders type formation, just roughly speaking here, if we did on this 4-hourly, if we did another sort of projection. I mean, I know it's the same projection, but it's just on a cleaner chart. You see that, you know, this is where this 37,400 comes from. So I do think this is going to happen, guys. I'd be very careful. Any kind of like moves up are going to be rejected. So we're going to have this head and shoulders forming because of this descending resistance line here. And we're going to roll over. We're going to come back down. We'll probably bounce around a little bit, but then we're going to get this accelerated wick down, and that's where I think this 34, you know, this 37,400 region is going to come into fruition. I couldn't be more scribbly if I tried. Yeah, that will take us, as I say, down into this region. So 38,800 is the region where the support that we hope doesn't break. Okay, now if we do get a wick below there, what I'm hoping is we see something like this, that it's only down there very, very quickly. It may hover down there, we may get a close below it, but as long as it breaks back up, you know, within the next day or within the next 48 hours back up inside that pattern, we'll be good to go. But if we do end up down in this region here, that's the time to be extremely cautious, because if it does roll over and we do get you know, prices starting to get down below this wick low here, which you'll see if I just make that, let me just make that a bit clearer on there for you as well. If we start to see, if we start to see any candle body closes below, let's just get rid of that, and we'll make that a bit clearer at the bottom there. I mean, that there at the bottom is the line in the sand, really. So at 30, so say 33,000, if we start to get down to that level, then you know, we are going to see the accelerated, you know, a quick move down, and I think we'll end up somewhere in the range of between 21 to 23,000, I think, is where we'll end up, and that will be, you know, that will be obviously devastating, and it will put things on the back foot. It will be, you know, end of alt season for the summer and everything else. So I don't think that the market makers are going to allow that to happen. I'll be honest with you. I think the market makers will allow us to get into this region down here in terms of price, you know, below the 38,800. but above the 37,400. So somewhere in amongst, say, between 37 and 39, we'll be bouncing around in there for a while we scare the absolute hell out of everybody, that any of the bulls which are left in the market, scare the absolute hell out of them, before it actually lifts off into the summer, because I do think that the summer alt season is cooking. I've put this purple line on here. This has been before, for weeks now. I've had this top projection going on, and it ties in with the Ethereum chart as well. Of what we think is going to happen with the Ethereum chart. This is my Ethereum chart, which I've been looking at for a long time. I've started the YouTube channel on the 20th of March. This goes back long before then. This chart is I was showing in a trading group. In fact, over this way when we were looking at this cup and handle, which goes back to over a year ago, so May 2021. This is the projection for me. I think this is still on the cards. I do think that this is going to happen. I do still think that we're going to see maybe $2,900 Ethereum before we launch off into the summer, which would also will be confluence with this stab down into the 37,400 area, into this area here. And then I do still think that we're going to see the alt season, guys. I mean, if we get down here, please be very, very careful to protect yourself. Don't say don't treat what I'm saying as gospel. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice, etc., etc. But I do think if the summer alt season is still going on. If I see anything different to that, I will let you know. Yeah, I mean, if we do get down into this area, whatever you do, guys, protect yourself with stop losses and things. So you don't want to see a $37,000 move down to $22,000. If you've got altcoin holding positions without stop losses in there, that will be absolutely catastrophic to altcoins. And I'm talking about small caps and things actually like going to zero and being devastated and never coming back again. Just be wary of that. I mean, if we do hit a really bad bear market more quickly than the summer, this side of the summer, if we do start to see that accelerated descent down to the low 20s, that's going to take a long time for Bitcoin to recover from that. It's going to take a long time, even longer time, for the altcoin market to recover from that. So, please, guys, be prepared for that. As I say, good news. I'm going to finish on good news because it's been a bit doom and gloomy for me. I'm actually a super, super, super bullish on Bitcoin for the mid to long term. Absolutely 100%. I'm talking about short-term time analysis here, and I have been ever since I've started my YouTube channel on the 20th of March. And the reason I've been talking about the bearish scenario is because we are in a bear market, whether people like to hear that or not. We are in a bear market. We've been coming down in price since November last year. We've got to call it like it is. We're in a bear market, and altcoins and things are retraced 80-90% from their all-time highs. That's a bear market, whichever way we look at it. But whatever you do, guys, don't forget those altcoins have gone from 10, 15, 20, 30x. Okay, so they might be down 90% in terms of their value from their all-time high, but they've got a long way yet to fall. Don't be fooled that they're 90% retraced and there's not much more room for them to go. They are 10, 15, 20x up from their lows. And if the bear market hits and we're in our lower 20s for Bitcoin, there will be altcoins that don't recover, and there will be it will be a massive problem. So, guys, please don't fall into the trap thinking you'll be okay. They're 90% down. There's no further they can fall. There absolutely is. Anyway, guys, I said I'd spend on a positive note, and that wasn't very positive, was it? So let's look at the positive things. Let's just look at the positive things. This is going to change into an absolutely massive W. Okay, after the weekend, after the break, everyone's back from the holiday. This is going to turn into a massive W. We'll end up breaking back above the 44,000 mark, and we'll be up onto like the lower 50s into 52, and then on to 56, which will create our rather lovely summer alt season, where Ethereum pops up into the summer alt season. All the alts do really well. Bitcoin goes sideways, and then we'll talk again about the later part of the year in another video, because I did say I'd end up positively. So thanks, guys. I hope you're enjoying the video still. Please continue to give me feedback, and do like and subscribe, guys. I do appreciate it. Thanks ever so much. Take care now. I'll see you tomorrow. Always remember, guys, take profits and buy something real. All the best, guys. Take care.
Bounds.